Episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky. How are we feeling out there? Yeah! Hello! Hey, thank you so much for coming out to our Christmas special, for putting the festive season into the season. Would you please welcome to the stage Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins? Hello! Yeah. All right. Woo! Yeah. Jess, I think you might be the most pumped up person here.
Yeah. That's gonna last. That's gonna last.
Where is everybody?
I'm tired.
There's some empty seats there. There's some people coming in now.
Dad?
This is our big Christmas pageant, Dad.
You promised.
You promised you'd be here. We saved him a special seat. Far back corner. Don't like looking at him.
Don't like it. We've got an ugly dad.
We've got an ugly dad. Not his fault. But
it
is what it is. It's certainly not our fault.
Not our fault.
Is anyone blaming us?
We collectively have an ugly dad.
Yeah. Well, speak for yourselves. My dad's hot. So hot.
Dave, I was doing a bit where we all had the same dad.
We all had the same dad.
Clearly all had the same dad.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a bit where my dad is hot, which is the truth.
That's not a bit. Martin's a very hot guy.
He's a sexy, sexy man.
That's not funny when you just say, yeah, my objectively hot dad is hot. Yeah. We all know that. We've all seen him that time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, do you remember? Do you remember that time? He did not win any money.
Well, you know, God doesn't always give with both hands. And he took a big old scoop of hot. He really cheaped out on the brains for Martin.
Yeah, but that's when you see how hot he is, it's fine.
Yeah.
We've gone silly.
Yeah.
Very early. How much of that's getting chopped? Hello, everybody. How you doing? Are you good? Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Last Christmas show, of course, we had an outbreak of COVID. This year, we've kindly done the show quite early in December, so you've got time to recover.
That's right.
You're welcome.
You'll get over it.
You'll get over it.
Or not.
Fucking chill out.
Who are we to say I'm not a doctor?
I'm not a doctor.
I am not a doctor.
It's like one of those old chickenpox parties where you go, oh, you got chickenpox? Well, go play with Frank and Darlene. I was a kid very long time ago.
Frank, Darlene. Gertrude's there.
I can't think of any more names. Michelangelo.
You're really going back. Jesus was there. How old are you?
He's as old as the wind.
Quite old.
Dave, why don't you explain what the fuck this is?
Well, this is our 8th, can you believe it, 8th annual Christmas special. And what we do is...
Name the other 7.
Hydrogen, helium, beryllium. Fucked if I know.
Well, we've done everything from the Santa Claus, history of Santa Claus, to last year I did the Santa Claus robberies. And what we do is we take it in turns to report on a topic, often suggested to us by one of our listeners. We go away, do a bit of research. Matt's done that this year. And the last time you did the live Christmas special, you did some very depressing murders. So...
Hey, let's not forget just the last live show in general where you just talked about somebody who fucked a dog, so...
Was anyone there for that one? Did not go out on the main feed. All right.
Yeah, didn't it? No.
I don't think so.
Anyway, we always start with a question.
Yes.
To get us on topic. My question this week is... The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Have you seen it?
No.
I watched the other one. A few people seen it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Terrible.
The reviews are in.
You've watched it?
Well, I'm about to talk about it for an hour, mate, so... No, I'm not. What the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special was released last month. What has director James Gunn cited as its main inspiration?
Ooh. Was that a piece of shit? Sounds like it. Yeah, all right. Yeah, James Gunn. Shot him down.
I love it when Dave's a bitch.
Yeah, cop that gun.
His main source of inspiration for the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yeah, holiday special.
Sure.
Based on a classic of the genre.
A Christmas Carol?
No, it's not a Christmas Carol.
I'm out.
Miracle on... 34th.
No. If you said a different street, it would have still been no. But I liked how you... you did pause there and make us all wait. I should have just jumped in and said, I'll stop you right there. No miracles involved in this one.
Okay.
It's almost a reverse miracle.
Oh.
It's a bad thing. Yeah, it's just a bit.
Is it a Christmas movie?
It is a Christmas... Well, it's a holiday special. It's the something holiday special. Oh, I don't know if there's anyone in the room who might
know. Is it Star Wars?
Muppets.
Put it all together, Bob, for the
Muppet
point.
Star Wars. Muppet Wars.
It's the Star Wars holiday special.
Okay, well...
I get the point. All right. This has been suggested just by two people, Evan Waterman from Denver, Colorado, and Pete Holberton from Melbourne. You in tonight, Pete?
Yes.
Yeah!
But is Evan from Colorado in?
Yeah, we should check. Was that Pete or Evan?
But not Pete Evans, please. For the love of God.
Oh, imagine you just see someone slinking down in their chair.
Oh, sorry, Pete.
Oh, Pete, this never happens. That's the best.
That's so good.
We ask that a lot. I don't think has that ever happened before? I don't have a great memory, but... All right, are we ready to begin?
No.
Oh. I'll take your time.
I need a few minutes.
Okay.
Can we just have small talk?
Yeah. Still getting over
How are you?
The Pete buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jittery. Anyway, yeah, no, absolutely. Let's kick this off.
On Friday, November the 17th, 1978, a special television event billed as a dazzling lineup of stars, animation, adventure, music, and visual effects aired on CBS in America. That TV event was the Star Wars Holiday Special. I said that like you wouldn't have already known that.
Yeah, wow.
I kind of gave that
You
away
were building
earlier.
drama for no reason.
It was 2 hours long, including ad breaks.
His font is so big, he's already on to page 2. I'm not even kidding.
How many words a page are you getting?
Well, the first half of the page is all my resources. As different to yours, mine isn't just Wikipedia. I've got quite a few there, so... Hey, the sass bitch is back.
Hey, that's my thing.
Sorry.
Have either of you seen it?
No,
but it sounds great. From that little
Yeah.
little sentence there. That sounds fantastic.
It's got a bit of everything.
It's got stars. It's got visual effects.
Yep.
It's got
puppets.
A cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah. What a recipe for success.
Yep. So for context, Star Wars, the original film, was released the year before and was a massive smash hit.
Was it?
Yeah, it was huge.
Oh.
It was like, at some point, the biggest grossing film ever.
Really?
Until E.T.
Until Avatar.
Yeah. That's true.
And until Avatar 2, which we're all so pumped up for.
Yeah.
You're not counting down the days till Avatar 2 comes out? Yeah, come on. We're excited.
It goes for like 3 hours.
Oh my God.
I know.
Jim, stop it. Just stop.
Jim!
Stop it.
So, at the same time that Star Wars was a big hit, so were variety shows. Everyone seemed to have one. Sonny and Cher, Donnie and Marie, you know, all the big names. The Muppets had one. So why not Han Solo and Chewbacca? It's a question that a few people asked. And the answer was... Well, there's a lot of answers why, but...
Okay.
It wasn't unprecedented. Established variety shows had done sketches with Star Wars characters over the previous few months. According to Frank DiGiacomo, writing for Vanity Fair, in the fall of 1977, with the original film still in theatres, segments featuring the Cantina aliens on variety shows hosted by Donnie and Marie Osmond and Richard Pryor helped revive their box office. So part of the success of Star Wars was that they had aliens on variety shows sometimes. Yeah. Have you two have watched Star Wars? Because I'm worried that there's things in here, like if I say Cantina aliens, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
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 How's that song go? Everyone now. Yeah, there's a lot of doing in there.
Yeah. The do.
That kind of thing.
That's it. That's the one.
That kind of thing. And then Han shot first or something.
One of the motivations for the special was to keep the Star Wars universe in the public consciousness as the sequel.
You're doing so well today.
As the sequel. I think that's. I speak a little French, so sometimes I slip into that. Sorry. Yeah, I think you Australians say sequel.
Yeah. Us uncultured swine.
The sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, was still 2 years away. Another possible motivator was to sell toys. As
sex toys.
Yes.
from the cantina. This one's got its own sound effects.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Noisy.
I'm coming with rhythm.
Why did you look me in the eye for that?
As D. Giacomo wrote, Lucas had been sold on the idea that a Star Wars holiday television special would sustain interest in the franchise, move more toys off the shelves, and maybe even pick up some new fans who hadn't seen the movie. It's so funny to think of what it turned out to be. That he thought it might have brought in new fans.
So you have info that we don't have.
I just watched it in the bath this afternoon. And it was, oh man, it was, yeah. Even without the bath, it felt like water torture, but wild. No, it was, has anyone seen it? Yeah. Pretty bad, okay.
Did you watch it in the bath?
No.
That could have been your mistake.
Okay, exactly.
Report back to us.
According to Jessica Roy, writing for the LA Times, Lucas was very busy in 1978. Expectations were high for the sequel, and he was moving his production company to Northern California. So he didn't have time to get very involved with the special.
That's always good.
He came up with the general concept, though, and I don't know, have you heard anything about it?
No.
So he came up with a general concept, which was to expand on the Wookiees and to introduce Chewbacca's family.
Sure.
So it was going to be very Wookiee heavy.
Great.
He was like, at one point he just wanted it to be a whole movie about Wookiees.
Yeah, great.
The people who can't talk.
Yeah. What do they sound like, though?
Ooh.
Right, was that the Mrs. Doubtfire crossover?
Yeah, no, I can't remember. What do they sound like? Yeah.
There's got to be someone in here who can do a
There it is.
Gargling.
It's called guttural.
Gargling.
It's in the back of the throat.
According to Charles Lippincott, who worked with Lucas at the time.
Lippincott.
What did I say?
No, they heard Lippincott. Oh. But that's on them, Matt. That's not on you.
Come on.
That's not on you.
I was with you. I heard Lippincott.
Lippincott, yeah. I can see why that might get a little reaction.
And what would that sound like?
So according to Lippincott, who worked with Lucas at the time, the special was always intended to be a variety type show, but he explains, we wanted something that was going to make us different to other variety shows. We didn't want the same old.
Variety shows.
There's not enough variety in these shows.
Yeah. All these variety shows, they're all the same.
None of them have Wookiees.
So that's why they brought in David Akomba. They thought he's the right guy to direct. He was like a rock and roll bad boy director.
Love that. He wore sunglasses.
I imagine like cigarette up the shirt sleeve, maybe a leather jacket. Yeah. Rode to set on a Harley.
Oh man, that guy's combing his hair all the time.
Yeah. It's the Fonz. Yeah. So that's the guy they wanted in there because Lucas and that didn't have time to be there. They're like, at least we got a director. The TV studio, they're from a different world to us, but we've got our guy in there who's looking after it. But Akomba said he increasingly sensed that there was not only a gaping generational divide between him and the producers. but also a cultural impasse between the Get It Right Lucasfilm camp and the I Need It Yesterday TV people. So on the Lucas side, they were auteurs. Yes. They were artistic. They had a vision. They wanted to get it right. Whereas the TV people were like, just do it. Who cares? Aliens. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I think I'm a TV person.
It was a mix that never mixed, says Lenny Rips, one of the writers. And everyone...
You can tell he's a writer.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, I mean, you haven't even got to the end of this quote.
God.
I mean,
I can't wait.
If you like the first half of this quote, he said, and everyone was good, but I'm sure there wasn't a bad welder on the Titanic either.
Now that makes you think.
Yeah.
There probably wasn't.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do.
Also, welding's one of those things that I've never done it, but I reckon I'd be great at it. You know?
I could see that.
How hard could it be?
Remember when
just keep going until it's all stuck together.
Our ex-Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, thought that during the... Remember that?
Yeah.
I'll just have a closer look.
What a fucking idiot.
Whipped up the mask.
Yeah. What a truly stupid man.
Taking no prisoners tonight, Papa.
Yeah. I had a 7-minute bike ride from work to here and I'm all jazzed up.
First Chris Evans, now Scott Morrison. Who's next? What did I say? Which one did I fuck up?
Peader.
Okay.
I was lost on what you were talking about. Sorry. Peader.
Wait, who's Chris Evans?
Captain America.
Captain America.
I just want to check. Kid at the back has headphones on, yep.
Kid at the back?
Yep. He's got headphones on. He's all right. He's having a good time. I just wanted to check. I just wanted to double check. The headphones were still on. We're good.
Okay. Well, it's good to know now there's a kid in there.
And he's got headphones on.
I also did not know. I assume he's listening to one of our other quality podcasts. So possibly a book cheat episode in those headphones. Yeah.
So by the time the cameras rolled, Lucas had moved on, and Akomba, the director, the bad boy,
yeah, Fonz,
he realised he was in over his head, saying, "For me, there was no centre. I couldn't seem to grasp it. I'm the director. I'm supposed to know. I'm supposed to draw on something that makes it all work." And so in those first few days of shooting, everything came home to roost, and it was hell. He's just like, what is this? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. What am I doing? Sounds like he was panicking.
It's good when the director's having a crisis.
Yeah.
That filters down in a beautiful way.
This sounds like a real bad boy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing?
Oh, no.
He only ended up shooting a handful of segments before he left the project, one of them being the scene featuring Golden Girl star B. Arthur singing in the Alien canteen.
Perfect, yeah. That makes sense.
Sources say Akomba seemed overwhelmed by the demands of television production, such as shooting a scene with multiple cameras to cover various angles.
That was a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
For a director.
He's like, I'm used to just shooting with one camera.
He's used to it taking way longer. Now that they're doing it with multiple cameras, he's like, oh, what's going on?
So instead of directing the scenes via monitors from a control booth, as most TV directors do, he worked the floor like a movie director, which greatly annoyed the tight-knit staff of TV veterans. L. Puritz, an arse prod on the series, said, "He was a loose cannon."
So, because usually you sit in the studio and they say, camera 1, now go to 2, but he's in the studio yelling that out. Camera 1, 2, go to 4, take 3. And it's like, you can hear that over the whole segment.
Yeah, it's still in the final cut.
Yeah. What a nightmare. B. Arthur's singing. You just hear it go, camera 1!
He got so overwhelmed that he quit via telegram.
That's a sign of a flustered man.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell his agent. He's like, I'm sending off a telegram, stop, I quit, stop.
Make it stop.
Yeah. So with Akomba gone, the show had to go on, and Steve Binder was brought in to take over. Binder was an experienced director of TV specials, most notably for Elvis's 1968 comeback special. So his CV has got Elvis's comeback special and the Star Wars holiday special on it.
It's not a bad CV.
Not a bad CV.
I think the fact that he has experience with TV specials bodes a little better. Do you think?
Yes.
Because that's what they're filming.
That's what they're filming,
yeah,
exactly.
So that helps.
And apparently he was good in, like, stressful situations. Apparently, before the Elvis special, Elvis was like, I'm not going out, and he talked him into doing it.
Yeah, right. He said, you fucking go out there. You have a contractual obligation. Yeah. You get the fuck. I don't give a fuck that you're Elvis. You're just some fucking guy to me. Get out there, or your head will be in a bucket. What's it going to be, Elvis? And there was a beautiful show.
Ironically, ended up dying on a bucket of sorts.
Yeah.
It's been said that if it wasn't for Binder, the special wouldn't have been able to be completed at all. It was already in a lot of trouble, and when he got there...
He told everybody, you fucking go out there.
Producers were like, oh man, if you weren't here, this would be done. They were still already way over budget. No one really knew what was going on. It was a big mess.
He's threatening Yoda. You fucking get out there.
Go out there.
Get out there, fuck. Or however you speak. Get out there, fucking. You know how he speaks. You know what I'm going for there.
Fill in the blanks yourself, people. We don't have to do all the work for you, do we?
It seems like part of the problem was the writers and George Lucas were not on the same page. So you had the Lucas camp, and then you had these TV writers.
Yeah.
They were used to writing jokes and doing old slapstick sort of... What do you... Voldemort? What do you call it?
Vaudeville?
Vaudeville. Voldemort.
Yeah. Voldemort.
Vaudeville.
Yes.
Very different.
Yeah.
Voldemort, no nose. Wants to kill a child.
Yes. So what's the difference?
Vaudeville.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they weren't on the same page, the writers. One of those writers was Bruce Valanche. Bit of a character.
Valanche?
Violence. Ooh, I don't know. So he was a veteran comedy writer who has since written material for 16 Oscar telecasts and had just finished working on Bette Midler's 1977 TV special, which was called Old Red Hair is Back. Which I thought was fantastic.
Have you already submitted a title for next year's comedy festival?
Oh, no.
That is awesome.
That is fantastic.
I'd be changing it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
All right. Send an email. Lenny Rips, who we talked about before.
Lenny Rips?
He's the guy who talked about the Titanic. This guy...
I was lost in his words before.
Yeah.
I didn't realise his last name was Rips.
Yeah, Lenny Rips. There's a lot of great names.
Good.
He had a bunch of variety TV writing experience as well, and he went on to write and produce a classic show, Full House.
I've never heard of it.
So you can sort of see the calibre of some of these people. Pat Proft was also involved, who worked on Police Academy, Naked Gun, and Hot Shots. You know, sort of spoofy...
Never heard of him.
Dave?
What is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's some good stuff.
You've never heard of any of it, have you? Have you ever seen a movie?
What are they?
I don't know.
Never seen a television special.
DeGiacomo wrote, this was a comedy variety dream team, but that expertise was an odd fit with Star Wars. Star Wars producer Gary Kurtz said, we should have realised that there was no way that we could fit the characters into this kind of format. Should have known. I don't know why. No one thought.
Nobody thought of that.
No one thought of
it. No one thought, this is a bit dumb.
Yeah. At first, Valanche, Rips and the team were excited to be involved. Rips later said...
Rips.
Yeah, that's great.
Rips later said, we were really excited because, my God, this is an annuity. I'll get a check every year from Star Wars. How can I lose? He thought it was a sure thing.
Yeah.
It was honestly, he's like, this will be played every Christmas.
Yep.
Checks in the
this
mail
is
for
go
me.
This is going to go down in history.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, all I'm thinking about is changing my name to Little Jessie Rips. It's so good.
Have you named your comedy festival show yet?
Yeah, and I actually called it Little Jessie Rips.
Wow.
I know, can you believe it?
Dear Giacomo.
Different every time.
Di Giacomo writes... Di Giacomo writes... But when Valanche heard Lucas's storyline at a development meeting, he quickly realised that a big challenge lay ahead. Lucas was intent on building the Star Wars Holiday Special, as it would be called, around Wookiees, specifically the family of Chewbacca, as they outwitted Imperial forces to come together on Life Day, the Wookiee equivalent of Christmas or Thanksgiving. I love how they've gone like really creative with it, and they've come up with something that, you know, I think everyone can get involved in that. Don't you think?
No, Life Day makes me want to be dead. Life Day.
Life Day.
But Valanche, when he heard this idea, he started thinking the special was in danger of looking like one long episode of Lassie.
Sure, because they're all Wookiees.
What's that?
Just big dogs.
Yeah. What's that, Chewie? Han's fallen down a well. I'll give him a lightsaber.
I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
This thing rides itself.
And they were struggling to write this. Bloody hell.
So Valanche was like, I can't believe these guys don't speak English.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to base the show around? Apparently, in his own words, Valanche said, Lucas met these comments with a glacial look.
Slow. Is that what that means?
George cannot keep up. What's this guy talking about?
This was his vision, he said, and he could not be moved. And of course, Star Wars was so gigantic, and he had been validated 100 times over. So he had what a director needs to have, which is this insane belief in their personal vision, and he somehow was going to make it work. Well, that's what Valanche was thinking anyway. There was a big gap between the visions of Lucas and his crew, and then the CBS producers and TV crew, the writing crew. But as Dear Giacomo writes, the deal had been struck, and Lucas and the writers got down to the business of roughing out a script. Valanche remembers, we would ask him questions like, would a Wookiee slap his knee? Do they laugh the way humans laugh, or is there some other way?
Is there an answer? Would they?
No, they wouldn't slap
their
knee. And they laugh like a Wookiee. Which sort of sounds like this. Woohoo! But Valanche was like, we didn't want to piss on his Bible. He's very precious about this stuff, and we didn't want to mess with it. His words were piss on the Bible.
Okay.
That wasn't one of my phrases. Yeah. We all knew that he had rules, and we didn't know what the rules were. Mostly, though, he was just passing judgment. He had constructed the framework for the show. We were basically just throwing things onto it and seeing what stuck. But really, Lucas didn't have a lot to do with the special outside of insisting that the Wookiee storyline was included. He basically, at that point, he got busy. Got busy. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dave, not here, please.
The Giacomo
it's getting closer.
Continues. In 1978, there were a lot of other people and projects competing for Lucas's time. With his attention elsewhere during most of the production, the Star Wars Holiday Special morphed into a monster. 2 directors and much turmoil later, the finished special didn't so much resemble its namesake as it did another science fiction film, The Thing with 2 Heads.
Okay.
He's been a bit poetic here.
Right. He's saying it's got 2 heads.
Yeah, literally 2 heads.
Right. Yeah.
Onto the body of Lucas's sentimental and irony-free Wookiee plotline, the producers and writers grafted a campy 70s variety show that makes suspension of disbelief impossible. The show was nearly universally panned. Di Giacomo...
He's losing it again.
He tried to interview Lucas about it, saying he declined to be interviewed for the article, although in a chance meeting that I had with him prior to that decision, the filmmaker, known for obsessive control of his projects, called the special a travesty and said he regretted not exercising a tighter grip over its production.
Well, he got busy.
He was busy. What's it,
He's busy. We can't be everywhere.
He's not a man with
George,
2 heads.
You're not a man with 2 heads. I don't know what that means.
According to an article in Esquire by Simon Abrams, Lucasfilm has never released the Star Wars Holiday Special in any format since 1978, except for a personal copy that Lucas gave to star Carrie Fisher. You know Carrie Fisher?
Yeah.
Plays Princess Leia.
Yeah.
One of the main characters.
Yep. Said I knew her. Thank you. I didn't know any of that.
So apparently the only copy he's ever given away was one to Carrie Fisher, who used the misconceived TV special to horrify and entertain her party guests.
Carrie Fisher was the best.
Oh, you got to check out this piece of shit. This is so good. You're going to hate this.
Everybody got a fresh drink? All right, strap in. Here we go.
Speaking later to the New York Times, Fisher said, "I did the voiceover for some of the Star Wars discs, but I made it a condition that he would have to give me the Star Wars Christmas special so that I could, have something for parties when I wanted everyone to leave."
That's good. I put on a do go on.
Same effect.
Yeah. It was like,
that would make people leave. Hey, anyone want to hear a podcast I'm on? Yeah, I think that'd do.
Anyone want to sit down and learn?
That's what we're doing here tonight. So it's never been released officially, but luckily the VHS format was introduced 2 years prior to the special's airing, and many fans recorded it on their VCRs. So today, grainy bootleg DVD copies of the special are available at comic conventions, but you can also stream it. It's on YouTube. I watched it there today.
Where were you, though?
Oh, I was in the bar.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to...
It was quite hot today. Was it a cold bar?
No, I fucked up. Honestly, I fucked up.
You could have called that. It could have been a little pool.
No,
a pool for one.
It was, I'm in there going, well, it's happening.
There's no way I could cool it down.
But I was burning up.
You make great choices.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So, let's get into why this special is so special. I'm going to briefly take you through the plot. So, I've watched it so you don't have to.
Fantastic.
To borrow a phrase from one of my good friends.
Who?
Steven Spielberg.
That is a good friend.
Chewbacca and Han Solo are in the Millennium Falcon. This is how it all starts. Flying to Chewbacca's home planet of Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk.
Bless you. Kashyyyk, was it? Kashyyyk, sorry. That's awful stuff. So he's trying to get to Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day with his family. They are being chased by Star Destroyers. Han offers the reassuring words to Chewie. What's his name? Harrison Ford didn't really want to be in it. And he's sort of kind of phoning it in a bit.
I don't think he's wanted to be in anything he's ever been in. Yeah. He's 80 years old and still working.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. So one of the first things he says is, "That's the spirit. You'll be celebrating Life Day before you know it."
Uh-huh.
And we're off and away.
No. Han Solo says that. Oh, that's the worst.
That's the spirit.
Then we go to Kashyyyk and meet Chewbacca's family, who are preparing for his return. The family include his father Itchy, his wife Marla, and his son Lumpy.
Get fucked. Lumpy.
So good they got those comedy writers on board.
Well, I shotgun Marla. One of you has to be Itchy and one of you's Lumpy.
Which one do you pick, Dave?
I think I'm going to be Lumpy.
Yeah. If you didn't choose Lumpy, Lumpy was going to be forced upon you anyway.
Yeah, that's right. But now I can own Lumpy.
Exactly right.
Happy to be here.
Itchy's kind of the senile old Wookiee, so...
Perfect. Great. Marla's a woman. So it's nailed it.
But it seems like George Lucas actually came up with the names.
Lumpy.
So, and some people point out that it's weird that an alien with a really alien-sounding name like Chewbacca would have family members with names like Itchy and Lumpy, but they forget Chewbacca is often referred to as Chewie, right?
So true.
And much the same, Itchy's full name is Adachikuk, and Lumpy's is Lumpawarump, and Marla is also short for Mulla to Buck.
That all makes sense then. I'm glad they provided that extra context.
Yes. Hey, don't worry, they're not silly names. Wookiees don't speak English, as we've mentioned, and according to Roy, this first scene with the Wookiee family is, quote, 10 minutes of Wookiees and there's no captions. So it was 10 full minutes of grunting and miming. And Roy says, which is a lot. And I tell you, it really felt like longer than 10 minutes. Like, honest.
10 minutes is such a long time.
The Giacomo said, the minutes-long stretches of guttural, untranslated Wookiee dialogue could almost pass for avant-garde cinema.
That's nice.
And I've taken a little trimming of some of this sound, about 10 seconds worth. Tim, do you want to play that track?
I think that was actually quite easy to follow.
Do they have a pet dog? The song going.
I read that they got the sounds from, like, one of them from a baby bear and some of them from tigers and stuff, I think. So anyway, they're getting ready to celebrate Life Day. There's about 10 minutes. You don't really know what's going on, but they're having conversations. They're moving around their tree house where they live.
Of course.
And if you don't know what Life Day is, StarWars.com, the official Star Wars website, explains it in, relatively vague ways, but this is what they say. Life Day began as a Wookiee holiday centred around the Kashyyyk Tree of Life, but can be celebrated by any species in any location. It's a time to share the hopes of celebrating freedom and peace, no matter how different we all may be. People enjoying Life Day traditionally mark this holiday, and this is where it gets pretty specific, with festive decor, music, activities, and the serving of unique and special food items.
Okay.
So they do food items.
They've really created a world.
Yeah. They've really fleshed it out, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous.
So I can picture it now.
Yeah, activities.
Yeah, there's music over
decor.
there. Yeah. Yeah, they do have decor there for sure.
Yeah. What are you picturing, Dave?
Oh, my mind's running wild with imagination. Yeah.
He wasn't listening.
Yeah. Life Day, I love it.
So this is a TV show as well. This isn't a movie. This is something that people can just push their remote and it's over. So
yeah.
And I think I think some people did that.
And it's not live, so they've edited it. They've chosen to make that 10 minutes.
Yes.
Oh my god. They've watched it back and gone,
perfect.
That's it.
Yeah. Just right.
From there, it's a bunch of set pieces loosely linked to the plot. Chewie's wife, Marla, video calls Luke Skywalker to tell him Chewie and Han haven't arrived yet. She's worried. And luckily, Luke's sort of going, hang on, what's... So he's just trying to, like...
She doesn't call Chewie or Han.
No.
She calls Luke.
She can't get onto them.
Does she try first, though? Do you see her try and, like, call declined?
Until Luke speaks, you don't know what's happening.
That's true.
But Luke's sort of going, where's Chewie? I'd love to speak to Chewie. And she's like, sort of like flapping around. Yeah. And he's like, wait, Chewie's not there yet?
Yeah, so it is Lassie.
Yes, there are some real Lassie-like moments. But then he figures out that they haven't made it back yet. And Luke's like, oh, don't worry. They'll be on their way. Anyway, give us a smile, Marla. I thought that was a bit of fun. Hey, what? Hey. Oh, your husband might be dead or missing.
Give us a smile, would you?
Turn that frown upside down. Luke looks a bit different in this scene. I'm watching, I'm like, he looks quite, just very different. And it turns out, according to IMDb, this is because his face was heavily made up as he was recovering from reconstructive surgery after a near-fatal car accident. So I think he gets a pass on sort of phoning it in.
Yeah.
A few other things on the mind. And I didn't even think he seemed to want to be there. I think he was in. Hey, Marla. It was basically a sketch, and him and the little robot R2. They're working on an X-plane, and they're going. But it's smoking, and Luke's like, oh, R2, oh, what have you done? And he's like, oh, I think I've got it now. And they turn around, and then it smokes again.
Oh, my God. That's a bit of fun. What are they like?
It's a roller coaster.
Life day. Anything can happen.
So somehow Luke's saying, hey, they'll be fine.
Chill the fuck out. Why are you stressing?
It didn't put her mind at ease. So she then video calls shopkeeper friend played by Art Carney from The Honeymooners. And Carney has one of those black helmet guys. Not Darth Vader, but another guy with this huge black helmet. From I can't remember. I don't know what any of them are called. But, one of the bad guys from Star Wars.
Mini Darth.
Yeah, he's some sort of Darth guy, but he's not Darth. But anyway, he's just this guy, and he goes, oh, you here to inspect my shop or something? And the guy goes, nah, I'm off duty, just browsing. And then,
what is happening?
And then
who is she video called?
She's video called the shopkeeper.
And the shopkeeper's there?
Yeah.
As is... A bad guy.
A bad guy.
Who's browsing.
Browsing, yeah.
But still wearing the hat.
Yeah, he's still wearing the hat,
still
but
in
he
uniform.
Doesn't have the face thing on. I don't know if they normally wear the face, but he's just like a guy with a mustache.
What the fuck is happening?
Sorry.
You're absolutely right. It's Life Day. Oh, I feel silly. Yeah, you're right. It's Life Day.
So yeah, so there's a few minutes of Art Carney trying to sell this not Stormtrooper, but the black helmet guy. Why hasn't anyone helped me here? What's this going? Great. Okay.
You seem to know. He's a Death Star Trooper.
Death Star Trooper.
A Death Star Trooper.
Great.
So this Death Star Trooper's going, he showed him this mini aquarium. It's a tiny aquarium, but you can take it around in your pocket. And the Death Star Trooper goes, I hate fish. And then Art Carney goes, yeah, I was only joking. This is just some Wookiee rubbish. I didn't think you'd like that anyway. Check out this thing. It's a brush. And then he told the brush did anything. It did all these things. And the guy goes, I'll take it. And he said, how'd you like to pay? And he said, I said I'll take it. And he just leaves.
He thieves.
Yeah. Right to his face.
On Life Day.
Yeah.
It just sounds like he forgot to pay.
Oh, but that could just be one of the activities.
Yeah. Oh.
Theft.
Stealing, yeah.
It's a Life Day activity. It's Life Day. You can thieve.
So because that guy's there, Art Carney has to speak in code when Marla calls.
Oh, great. In code to someone who doesn't speak any English.
Yeah. It seems like the Wookiees can understand English but can't speak English.
Yeah.
So, and no one's bothered to learn their language in reverse, though. But
that sounds about right.
So, he reassures her by saying something like, I didn't write the quote down because my hands were wet, but... Because I was in the bar.
He does his best work in the bar.
Did you just think, all right, I'll remember this?
Yeah. But it was something like, so Art Carney says something like, oh, that shag pile rug? Is that what you're wondering about? Yeah, it's on the way to you. The woman who is delivering it didn't need help. She said she'd handle it solo. If you know what I mean. Something like that.
That's good.
And he's like, you know what I mean? And Marla's like, yeah. So then...
I'm so glad I got that out of the way. Yeah. I've been thinking about, I'm going to have to do it at some point.
Yeah.
And I was stressed that I'd fuck it. Oh.
For people listening at home, what are you talking about there?
The noise I just made.
Yeah. So I guess Marla's relatively reassured by this weird cryptic message that somehow she cracked. And then she starts cooking a meal.
A festive meal.
Yeah, with help from an instructional video. So this is just the setup to the next stupid sketch, right? And this one is like, it's like an alien spoof of Julian Child, only the...
Julia Child? But I understand you don't know who that is. It's all right.
What's their name?
Julia.
Julia Child, yeah. But so it's like Julia Child only with 4 arms, and so Marla's going, all right, following step by step. Mix. It was like a meat dish with a big sirloin, but then for some reason all the instructions were about stirring and whisking. It was anyway.
Was there any crunch?
Oh. They did. I'm pretty sure she said it was succulent, but... So basically the joke of this 5-minute sketch or whatever it was that Marla couldn't keep up with the 4-armed alien. The alien's using 4 arms to do multiple things, and Marla's like, oh, I'm struggling.
Yeah, she's only got...
But only she sounds like... No. Yeah, that's not bad. You did it better before, though.
That's the sound of a Wookiee panicking.
Then the next bit was basically Chewie's dad, Itchy, being a bit of a perv.
That's Dad's on Life Day.
So the shopkeeper, played by Art Carney, arrives with gifts to cheer up the family, saying, this is good stuff. You're going to realise, comedy writers are involved in this.
Yep.
He comes and he says, why all the long, hairy faces?
8-second pause.
I think that's good stuff. One of his gifts is a fantasy virtual reality machine for Itchy. Itchy then watches his fantasy, which is singer Diane Carroll telling him he's adorable over and over and saying stuff like, quote, I am your pleasure. Experience me. Then she sings a song.
Mm-hmm.
One of the show producers, Mitzi Welch...
That's incredible. Mitzi Welch.
Mitzi Welch.
We're dead. We don't name people like we used to.
So Mitzi said the scene was intended to be, quote, softcore porno that would pass the censors. In the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah. Something for everyone. Got to include the pervs.
Yeah. Some for Dad.
Stop looking me in the eye when you say stuff like that. Look at Dave. Please.
I'm loving this distance.
According to Digikiamio. I know it sounds like I'm probably doing that on purpose.
I know.
I'm having a genuine crack.
I know,
bud. And I've got Italian blood.
Yeah. In a vial somewhere.
And still.
Still non parlo Italiano.
At best, it's cosy. So according to Digicamio, when Carol tells Itchy, oh, we are excited, aren't we? Itchy releases the first and last orgasmic shudder ever to be seen in a Star Wars vehicle. Yeah, it's alluded to, he comes.
Yeah.
At this point, some stormtroopers and other Empire-type people, like maybe a starship trooper.
Just give him that. Just say yeah. Yep.
Damn it. Spaceship? What? Death Star troopers.
Death Star trooper.
And one of the guys who just looks like an army guy, so just got like a hat and he just looks sort of like a kind of normal...
generic army guy.
Yeah, but he's the boss.
Right, but they call that even before the Death Star.
No, this is after the Death Star.
This is after the Death Star.
I should say this is happening between the first and second films.
I thought this was nominative determinism. Can you believe that? Yeah, I'm a Death Star trooper. Oh, you want me to work on the Death Star? Okay.
Perfect.
Sure. No worries.
So this...
Perfect. Great.
So this crew of Empire people, all the different ones,
the Star Wars village people.
They rock up to the treehouse, the Wookiee treehouse, and start interrogating the family and ransacking the house. Yeah, brutal. It's almost like there were some Qantas baggage handlers. Topical today, not when it comes out.
Nah, it's still good.
One of them sits down for a break and watches... One of the bad guys sits down for a break and watches a hologram Jefferson Starship play a song about UFOs on a music machine.
I didn't get a single word of that. Can you read that again? He sits down...
So he sits down for a break and he starts watching a hologram version of Jefferson Starship, a band, play a song about UFOs on a music machine. So nearly all the scenes are like, oh, here's a device that you can watch a sketch on, or a performance. According to DiGiacomo, even today, former Jefferson Starship lead guitarist and songwriter Craig Chikirko can't quite get over the result. Chiquitquo said, it was such a strange iteration of the original big screen movie concept and your regular variety show. I was like tripping on it myself, man.
Yeah, dude. We're all tripping on it.
Next up, we have one of the Empire guys telling Marla to keep her kid Lumpy out of the way. Just get in the way, get Lumpy out of the way. Maybe with some sort of sketch you can watch or something. So she sits him down and shows him a cartoon. And this is possibly the most famous part of the whole special, as it introduces famous Star Wars character Boba Fett, who's a bounty hunter. It's also probably the most Star Warsy bit. All the gang are involved. It's basically a 5-minute adventure where Luke meets Boba. Boba double-crosses Luke. They figure it out, and Boba says something like, catch you later in one of the next sequels, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they come back to the Wookiees.
Wow. And that went for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, that bit's, I think, the only bit that's been officially re-released as an Easter egg on one of the DVD box sets or something.
Right.
Apparently the ratings took a nosedive after this segment. People were hanging out for it.
I'm surprised people held on this long, to be honest.
Well, not everyone, but...
Yeah.
Lumpy comes up with a plan from here. We're getting to the pointy end now.
Okay.
Lumpy comes up with a plan to fake an Imperial broadcast, instructing the stormtroopers and others to leave and head back to base. But to do this, he needs to set up a new machine. So then we get Lumpy in his bedroom watching a video guide to setting up the device. Only the humanoid robot who is instructing him in the video is glitching and malfunctioning.
Okay.
So it's a bit of fun. He's going, hey, then you push this button. And that goes for about 5 minutes. Then for some reason, this bit, none of it's made much sense, but this bit to me doesn't make much sense at all. For some reason, there's a video transmission coming through back in the living room downstairs in the treehouse. And it's from the Mos Eisley Cantina on Tatooine. This is like that one with the doo-doo-doo-doo guys you were talking about before.
He's got a brain for music.
Yeah, my God. I never forget a song.
Can I pitch something to you? Sorry, because they're in a treehouse.
Yeah.
You sit downstairs in the treehouse. Would it be down branch, do you reckon?
Oh.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
Mull it over. Discuss that on the way home.
Down trunk.
Down trunk. That's nice. Anyway, do go on.
I think because of the stairs, they just still use stairs, but, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. But I wonder if you only had a ladder, would you still say downstairs or would you say down ladder?
Oh.
Think about that on the way home.
Right.
I'm giving them so much to talk about on the way home. I'm very
Everyone's
generous.
Christmas days, they're going to be sitting around.
Yeah. Hey, Grandma.
No awkward combos there.
That's right.
Grandma,
Thanks.
what do you think about this?
Grandma, let me pitch you something.
So there's this video coming through. It's of Mos Eisley, and in it we see B. Arthur running the bar. She's the bar owner at this point.
Sure.
She was then...
Wasn't she singing earlier?
No,
was that coming?
This is it.
Oh, that's exciting.
So at this point, it was pre-Golden Girls. At this point, she was famous for being in a show called Maude.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was the titular Maude.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. In this scene, the bar is full of all sorts of aliens in costumes of varying quality. Arthur is being sleazed onto by a guy who drinks through a hole in his head.
Where? Because a mouth is a hole in your head, isn't it?
Right up top. So he orders a drink and then he just pours it in and goes, "Hey, come back, Golden Girl."
Is his head's just open?
Yeah, it looks like a sort of like a school kid's volcano project.
Probably
was actually. Probably was. So she's like, "Hey, you've got the wrong idea.
Mm-hmm.
Not really into that.
I'm
not that you. I'm not into you." Then there's an announcement. So for some reason, all of that was being shown. I don't know if the other sort of booze hounds in the cantina were feeling weird about the camera crew in there. Because obviously the Empire was filming this for broadcast, if I'm understanding it right, and I'm very possible I wasn't. And then there's an announcement that Tatooine is under curfew, and then she's like, "Everyone out," and everyone's like, "We're not going, we want more drinks." And she's like, "Everyone's got to go," and they're like, "No, we're not going." And then she's like, "All right, one more round, and it's free."
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then during that...
usually when I want people to leave my bar, I put on the Star Wars Christmas special. I get out of there so quick.
I don't give them free drinks.
Yeah. All right, stick around for another for free.
You scamps.
While they're drinking these last drinks, she sings a song called "Good Night, But Not Goodbye."
How's that go? I love that song.
It's emotional, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Good night, but not goodbye.
Not goodbye, because I'll see you tomorrow. You booze hounds.
Yeah. Of the experience, B. Arthur told the Portland Mercury, quote, "I didn't know what that was all about."
Neither do we, B.
I was asked to be in it by the composer of the song I sang. It was a wonderful time, but I had no idea it was even a part of the whole Star Wars thing.
She's standing in a bar full of aliens?
She said, "I just remember singing to a bunch of people with funny heads."
She didn't realise it was Star Wars.
She's not asking any questions.
So this is one of the scenes that original director David Akomba was in charge of. Writer Pat Proft brought his son, a Star Wars fan, to watch the scene being shot. The shoot dragged on, leaving some of the actors with funny heads in heavy costumes struggling. Proft later remembered saying, "Some of them were passing out because they forgot to pump oxygen into the masks." And there's my son watching these creatures he loves die in front of him.
They forgot.
A little oversight. While everyone's watching this weird scene, Lumpy acts on his plan, making the fake call for the Imperial people to return to base. And it works.
What? Lumpy saves the day?
Yeah.
Damn right.
I'm not calling you Lumpy.
No.
Now that you like it, it's ruined.
Yeah, I love being called Lumpy. Please, keep it up.
So it works apart from one stormtrooper who figures out what's going on. He catches Lumpy in the act of doing this thing. You know what these little Wookiees are like. Unlucky for this stormtrooper, though, this is exactly when Han and Chewie arrive home, and Han pretty much straight away grabs him and throws him off the balcony to his death. Merry Life Day. As he falls, we get the Wilhelm scream as well.
Yeah! Great.
From there,
yeah, good impression.
A room full of people just went, yes.
Yeah.
About a scream sound effect. Oh, I love our audience. Pack of nerds. Yes.
From there, the Wookiees get into their Life Day red robes head to the Tree of Life, and Princess Leia sings a song for some reason.
How's it go?
But we actually do know the reason why she sang a song. According to Valanche, Fisher was willing to appear in the special under the condition that she got to sing. She was going through her Joni Mitchell period, he said.
We've all been there.
And she came into the office and played a couple of ballads on a piano. She was singing about heartbreak and all the Joni Mitchell things.
You know, women's stuff.
Yeah, I could go on, but you know,
I won't. Heartbreak and other Joni Mitchell shit.
Yeah. She very much wanted to show this side of her talent, and there was general dismay because this is not what we wanted Princess Leia to be doing.
All right. We want her in a gold bikini, and that is it.
But in the end, obviously, she did get to sing, but she didn't like the song, so no one was really happy in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But according to I really want to get this right. Can you say it one more time?
DiGiacomo.
According to... how do you say that first word?
D? According.
According to...
DiGiacomo.
According to DiGiacomo, though... It's a life-day miracle.
And we can fix it in post where every time you say it, we'll cut you saying it and then an applause after every time. 80 times in the show. People at home are like, what's with that crowd? They love that DiGiacomo guy.
Yeah, according to him, the actors did not seem to be happy with much of anything that was going on at the studio. Though Binder, the second director, said, Hamill, Ford and Fisher were a pleasure to direct. Kurt says there was a moment, though, when the actors confronted him while he was visiting the set, saying, they all came up to me and one of them said, how do we get into this mess?
That's nice to hear, isn't it?
Kurtz, whose task was to convince the actors to make the effort, says begging was involved. Though film actors cross over into television much more frequently these days, back in '78 it was considered a big step down. Ford was especially reluctant to appear. As Kurtz points out, though, the actor was loath to cooperate with any kind of Star Wars project, so it wasn't...
He has hated every day of his life. Every movie's like, fuck. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he's talked about this one. He's like, it's in my contract. I don't want to do it. And then apparently he was like on the scene saying, how long is this going to take, guys? Are we done yet? I think we got it. And that was the same for the cartoon. His voiceovers in that, he just went in and went bang, bang, bang. And then apparently the Luke Skywalker actor,
Mark
Hamill was like, hey, can we try some different things? I want to have a few goes at this. And then obviously he went on to be one of the great cartoon voice guys. Anyway, the special ends with Chewie remembering some bits from the original film. He's sort of looking into the middle distance.
Oh, no.
And then they just play a
few clips. Yeah.
And then...
And who could forget? And
then his family sits around a table, bowing their heads, and the credits roll.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. That's right.
Honestly, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
But I'd heard it was so bad.
It sounds
I think when you hear something's the worst thing you've ever seen, and I've watched some pretty ordinary movies in recent times because of our Phrasing the Bar podcast. And I always go into those with the wrong expectations. I think everyone's going to be great. Whereas this one, I thought,
every month you're like, this is the one.
This is the one.
Here we go.
According to Roy, the costumes were so thick and bulky that the actors sometimes passed out. By the end, the whole thing had run out of money. The Wookiees in the life tree scene at the end, that big finale scene that Princess Leia sings at, they were shot with all the Wookiees wearing store-bought Chewbacca masks.
Beautiful.
And that was on a set that they couldn't afford either, that scene. There was no money left for a set, So Binder, the director, instructed the art director to go to the shops and buy as many candles as they could. And that's what they did. The big finale scene is shot on an empty stage with a bunch of candles.
That's beautiful. Very romantic.
Yeah. It was kind of a surreal scene. I wouldn't have picked it. I thought it was on purpose like that. But yeah.
It was. Just on budget.
Yeah, exactly.
On purpose.
I thought that was pretty good use of not a lot of money. The rest of it was a very poor use of a lot of money. So we know it wasn't particularly well received, but how did it rate? Well, according to Simon Abrams, writing for Esquire, the special attracted about 13 million viewers nationwide in America. It was shown in Australia on Channel 7, apparently. It was shown in New Zealand and Canada and a bunch of other places as well.
On what channels?
It's funny. Coming in, I'm like, I know there's going to be nerds who go, I can't believe you didn't have this certain detail. That's not the detail I was expecting. So it got 13 million viewers, which might sound impressive, but means it didn't even crack the Nielsen's top 10 for the evening. It was also beaten in its own time slot by Pearl, a show about the Pearl Harbor bombing, and The Love Boat.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
In a scathing review, the Milwaukee...
No, nailed it.
I just felt like that, it felt like that word just
Milwaukee.
Blew away. Yeah. I lost control of it. A gust of wind got under my mouth and... The Milwaukee Sentinel's Greg Moody wrote that, quote, suddenly the entire mystique of Star Wars is gone. He's like, it's ruined all of Star Wars.
It'll
all
never
of one
recover.
movie?
Yeah, that's right.
All of one movie is ruined.
It's dead to him.
Wow.
The Detroit Free Press's Betaloo Peterson was only relatively kind when she said, the Force, it is sad to report, is not quite with them.
That's good stuff.
Listed in the book, What Were They Thinking? The 100 Dumbest Events in Television History. It made the #1 spot.
No! #1? It did it. Well done.
Brutal.
And the author wrote, this was the worst 2 hours of television ever. Wow. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a splat, as you'd probably expect, on the tomato meter. The splatometer.
I'm done helping you.
But it's not as bad as I was expecting. It's got a 25% score from critics. Which, there's definitely worse ones out there.
Yeah, probably about 25% people watching it high. I imagine it's very entertaining.
Yeah. Here are a few more review snippets. Shane Munro writes, the Star Wars Holiday Special is a work of such baffling insanity that every Star Wars fan deserves to watch it once. But probably only once. Tim Bratton said, calling the Star Wars Holiday Special a uniquely repulsive failure of the filmmaker's art is an unearned compliment.
Jesus!
Alan French wrote, you will curse God for this show's mere existence. And Nathan Rabin wrote, I'm not convinced the special wasn't ultimately written and directed by a sentient bag of cocaine. If it has a single virtue, it's that it does eventually end. On that point, according to USA Today writer Bruce Valanche, he has since admitted that he was heavily into cocaine while working on the project. This isn't quite as fun, but I'll tell you just a few of the key players and how they ended up watching the show. This is back to
DiGiacomo.
Here's something from DiGiacomo about how the key players of the show saw it. The night of the broadcast, writer Lenny Rips threw a party, saying, I had lots of people over and lots of food and lots of anticipation, he recalled. And when we sat in front of the TV, after the first commercial, I turned it off and said, let's eat.
Who's hungry?
Gary Kurtz, one of the Lucas producer guys, remembers watching the special with George but he says he cannot remember the Star Wars creators' reaction to it, saying the determination was that it was a bit too late to do much about it. We couldn't pull the show, and I guess there was a determination that, well, it wasn't really that bad compared to other Christmas specials, so what the hell? Kurtz has said that the experience with the holiday special certainly added to the idea that the only way to make sure it turns out the way you want it is to be in control. So he reckons it's one of the reasons why George Lucas is quite a control freak with stuff.
So you reckon? So what he took away from that is if you walk into a project and go, "Here's a vague idea, see ya," it might not turn out exactly how you want it to. That's what he's taken away from that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, but sometimes George Lucas, is all involved with it, and it still doesn't turn out very well anyway. So
take that. George.
Yeah, copy that. Huh?
Meow, Dave.
Yeah, okay. I just know that Star Wars fans hate everything. There's never a film that comes out that people have said, that's it, that's killed the franchise. Even this special.
David Akomba, the first director, has never seen it. After he left the project, though, he said that George Lucas sent him a letter letting him know there were no hard feelings.
Oh, that's
nice. That's nice. I don't know which one of these two I should finish on, either the positive or negative. What's fun? It's the negative ones may be funnier.
All right, go for that. And then if that's...
actually, it's not funny.
Yeah, but then if that's not good, then do the positive one.
Oh, I was going to do the positive one and then the negative one.
No, I'd go... Well, I mean, why are we discussing, like...
Well, I'm asking which order to put him in is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I told you... I gave my opinion, and you said, but I was going to do it the other way. So do it however you want to do it.
So you're saying do the negative one, and if that does go okay, just don't do the positive one? Yeah. And I was like, it would be nice to do them both. But
then do them both. I don't know what's going on.
I'll do it your way, Bob.
Let's watch this absolutely crush. Here we go.
And then we say good night and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we get the fuck out of here.
Mickey Herman, a Lucasfilm consultant, is quoted to end a Mental Floss article saying, "The interesting thing is, the day after the special aired was the day of the Jonestown massacre."
Previous episode.
So he says, it was just a bad time for everyone. Puts it in context, doesn't it?
Yeah. Really paints a picture of that time. That's beautiful.
I really thought he was drawing correlation there.
Yeah, and then the other one was Mark Hamill saying, it's... He said, I did say it was a positive one. What he said was, I don't think we should be ashamed of it. That's the end of my report.
Matt Stewart, everybody!
Happy Life Day, everybody.
Yeah, Happy Life Day.
Life Day seems to be celebrated on November 17th, so we missed it this year, but hopefully we can all catch up next year.
Yeah.
Put on our red robes and watch Princess Leia sing for some reason.
Yeah, we'll do some
She's
activities.
Not even a Wookiee.
No. So why was she... Anyway, whatever.
And then we'll throw a man off a balcony.
Yeah. All the classic Life Day things.
So much fun.
Just lovely. Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. Over there. Hi.
Round of applause for Tim on the sound desk and Rebecca from Comedy Republic. The absolute best. Boot at home, Dave.
Thank you so much for coming out. We hope you have a Merry Christmas, one and all. But until next time, we'll say
and Life Day.
And Life Day. Life Day. But until next time, we'll say thank you so much and goodbye, everyone.
Later.
Bye.
What a fantastic live event that was.
Oh my goodness, that was certainly a live event.
That was live.
In the room.
In the room it was live. I mean, when you just listen to it then, it was less likely live, but Unless you were there in the room.
Yeah, and you're listening back to hear yourself being live.
Live, yeah. Then it was live. Okay? Hope we got that straight. Dave and I are sitting in the corner of a hotel room in Sydney because we're up here this week to do a trivia. What are we doing, actually?
We're on a bit of a... What is it? A trivia... A tour.
A tour. It's a one-stop tour.
No, I was thinking more of...
Oh, no, we got two this week.
We're doing 2 trivia nights this week.
Sydney and then Country Victoria.
That's right, the 2 big places on the map. We're kind of... Yeah, I'm trying to... A junket. We're on a trivia junket.
Oh, a junket.
Getting out...
Call it.
We've fallen in to a trivia business somehow.
We're in the biz.
We're in the biz of asking a quiz. Should I open with that tomorrow?
Yeah. We're in the biz of asking a quiz. What are we doing today? We're asking a quiz. Saturday we're doing Pyramid Hill.
Pyramid Hill.
A place I don't think I'd heard of before, but it's near Boort. So when I was a kid, I lived near Boort in Charlton, and it's in that neighbourhood.
We've both got local roots there because my grandmother was in the nursing home at Pyramid Hill.
Oh, right. There you go.
There you go.
Can't wait to get back to the area.
Yeah, get back to the community.
Beautiful spot.
So basically, you were asked to just...
quick fun fact.
Oh, here we go.
My dad, one of his proud achievements, one of his many, of course, is that he was the first to bring VB to Charlton.
How did that happen?
Everyone drank Melbourne there, and he'd grown up in Melbourne, and he's like, you gotta have VB. So he shipped up a slab up the Hume Highway, or whatever, not the Hume, whatever the highway is, the
Calder,
whatever that middle highway is. We better find out for Saturday. He got a slab brought up, and it went off like wildfire.
Right.
Only if people liked drinking wildfire. Yeah, so I wonder if I ask around if people will be like, Stewart's your surname, you're not Paul Stewart's son, the man who brought VB to Charlton? Or is that a story that isn't really true? Or more likely, he's the only one who remembers that happening.
Yeah, well, I love it. What a claim.
Whatever it is, I think it's fantastic.
So he brought... So VB, for people that don't know, that stands for Victoria Bitter. And he brought that to Victoria.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, but the funny thing was that the Melbourne Bitter was big in country Victoria, while Victoria Bitter was big in the city. It makes you think.
It's backwards down there in Melbourne. But now we're up here in Sydney. So basically, you've just been asked to do a couple of trivia nights. You just got 2 different people ask you. We're doing one for Apple, one of the biggest businesses in the world tomorrow.
That's right.
Which is very exciting. We're up in Sydney, and we're very thankful to be up here. And then you said, I'll get my mate Dave involved. And now we've written this quiz. We put this whole thing together. And basically, it's become a thing. So we're trivia guns for hire now.
Yes.
So if you're out there, you want us to come do your Christmas do, you want us to raise money for your kinder, we'll turn up.
For a fee.
Yes, sorry. We should put that bit out there.
And you do them online as well. I did an online one for a Do Go On listener for his Bucks party.
Yeah, that's the best.
A few months ago. It was a lot of fun. They were all dressed up. It was a great time.
Yeah, well, get in contact with us. Our contact details are on the Do Go On website, dogoonpod.com, and before you know it,
you can live to triv.
Live to triv. Our biz is quiz. Is that better? Slightly.
All right, we shouldn't be workshopping on mic, but I love it all anyway.
Yeah, great.
But enough of that. That's just what we're doing here, and that's possibly why the sound isn't so good, because we're huddled around a single USB mic right now. But don't let that distract you from what we're really here for, which is to thank some of the most beautiful people in the world, and these are our Patreon supporters.
We love them.
They're the people who keep this show afloat, and they do so by signing up at patreon.com/dogoonpod. And there's a bunch of different levels. You can get all sorts of different things. We do 3 bonus episodes per month. We also have a Facebook group, which is called The Nicest Corner of the Internet often. People vote on topics like this topic about Star Wars. That was voted on by the Patreons. And a bunch of other different things. But one of the things we're here to do right now is the fact, quote, or question section, which has a jingle. I think it goes something like this.
Fact, quote, or question. Ding.
He always remembers the ding. He always remembers the sing as well. Jeez, he remembers. Dave the Brain Warnocky.
Remember.
And how this one works is if you sign up on the Sydney Scheinberg level, you get to give us a fact, a quote, a question, or a brag, or a suggestion. You also get to give yourself a title, and I've got 4 to read out this week. Our first one comes from Nick Fidian, who's given himself the title of the Good Old Saint of Christmas. Very appropriate fact, quote, or question this week. In fact, it's a fact. I could have just waited a moment longer and looked, slightly further across the screen. Anyway, Nick Fidian's fact is Rudolph was almost named Rollo or Reginald.
We covered that.
You just told this fact in a bonus episode.
Our Patreon bonus episode that's just come out is our Christmas special, where I went through the history of about 7 or 8 famous Christmas songs. We talked about Rollo.
I loved this. I love that story. I'd never heard it. It was really interesting.
I'm glad that it's true, because Nick Fidian also agrees.
Yes. But Nick says if it was Rollo or Reginald, wouldn't have fit the classic song so well. But his crew also had a lot of other names. They've also been called Flossie, Glossy, Racer, Pacer, Scratcher, Feckless, Ready, Steady, and Fireball.
Not Cook.
So sorry, my throat's a bit scratchy. I've just been to a music festival weekend, and I think I might have been talking too much.
Over the music.
I guess that's what's happened here. Maybe a bit of singing along.
I didn't stop talking that whole weekend.
I did. Up there. I met a couple of listeners, and I hopefully didn't talk their ears off too much. I met a couple of really cool people. And if you're listening, thank you for your time and your patience. Nick continues, he says, also a fun extra fact, I once had a teacher called Mr. Christmas who genuinely had a wife called Mary. Oh, God. Merry Christmas. She must have considered keeping the maiden name.
Surely.
Or maybe she was a Christmas lover.
She went out of her way.
Yeah, maybe that was why she found him. Hopefully this doesn't come through at the wrong time of year, but a Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Nick, you've nailed the timing there, I got to tell you. Thank you so much for that fact. This next one comes from Jessica English, aka Executive Assistant for the Trio. Can I get you a coffee, tea, pie?
Oh, pie. Yes, please.
I'd love a tea. Thank you so much. Jess isn't here, but she'd love a coffee.
She'd take a coffee.
Yeah. And Jessica's asking a question, writing, congratulations on a successful and best block ever. That is high praise.
That's very nice.
The end of block always leaves a bit of a holiday hangover, but then I realised golden shiny Garys are just around the corner.
Coming up, but a little bit over a month away maybe.
That's right. So if you don't know, they're our annual Patreon voted
awards. We're talking favourite episode of the year, best presenter, best guest report, best book cheat, primates, who knew it, all these sort of categories.
They're the Do-Go Honours, and they're our night of nights.
Exactly, the most self-indulgent event of the year, but we love it. It's good fun.
And Jessica says it really is the most wonderful time of the year.
Thank you, Jessica.
My question is, what are your favourite romantic comedy tropes? For example, love triangles, fake dating, etc.
Oh, I wish Jess was here because she knows them so well.
I know.
She goes through them point by point.
I watched one this week, a Christmas one, because I don't think I ever got into the really corny ones, but I've started getting into the particularly corny ones. And I watched one this week with blanking on both of their names. Carey Yules. I don't know how to say his name, but he's the guy from Princess Bride.
Okay.
And Robin Hood Men in Tights. You familiar with his work?
I think I can imagine the face.
And Brooke Shields.
Okay, so you do know the name. This is good.
And Brooke Shields is she's a famous author, but the movie opens with her supporters, her fans have turned on her because she killed off the main love interest in her book series.
Oh, fictionally, okay. She's killed someone.
So it's making it look like she's done something really bad in her book. because there's protests outside and stuff, but it turns out she just killed off a character. So, a bit of fun. And then she sort of on a whim goes on a trip to Scotland where Carey Ills is. How do I not know his name? I love those multiple films of his I love. But then he, he's grumpy. Well, he becomes grumpy. There's a misunderstanding. That's one of the big tropes of all romantic comedies, I think.
Right.
A bit of a misunderstanding. Oh, this could be solved by you just saying a full sentence here.
Say it.
Why are you saying a fragment of what you're thinking about right now?
I'm thinking of ones where there's a lady in a relationship with a man. Usually he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Meets a nice person, but she's like, can't be with him. Sorry, I've got to go back to piece of shit here.
Yeah.
And then nice person watches on like, oh, if only they were with me. Guess what? They're going to be with you.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's a fun original take.
Yeah.
Jessica says, I'll watch any garbage that includes enemies to lovers who have to share a bed or get stuck somewhere together right as they start to appreciate each other. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can
that's
see
fun.
That. Yeah, a bit of fun. I was watching Plane, Trains and Automobiles recently. And it's not a romantic comedy, but it's a odd couple sort of thing. You got Steve Martin, who's the uptight businessman, wants to get home, and then John Candy, the lovable guy, loves life, but he's a bit annoying and whatnot, and they have to share a bed at one point. But that's not at the point where Steve Martin is ready to open up his heart. That comes much later, like right at the end, maybe. There's little bits of it. Anyway, Jessica, I'm going to have to take that question on notice. Remind me to ask Jess next time we are in the room with her, which will be, on next week's episode, which we've already recorded, so forget that.
Sorry. In a few weeks, we'll remember.
But yeah, I'm absolutely loving Christmas movies this year, including it's opened up a whole new world, because I was into good Christmas movies, and there's not that many of them. But when you can get through like whatever Christmas movies, you can enjoy them on good and bad levels, and it's just for the fun of it.
So the pool's much bigger now.
Yeah, it's opened it right up. Thank you, Jessica. Soph Waldron, aka that one person in the office that ruins every Secret Santa by figuring out who's buying for who. Another Christmas-related one.
Love that.
We're on a roll here. And Soph has a question writing, do you do Secret Santa with work, friends, and or family? And do you think that the fun is in keeping it secret or trying to figure it all out? There's 22 people in my office, and I'm pretty confident I've figured out who everyone is buying for, but I keep getting told that defeats the purpose of Secret Santa. I haven't told anyone my results because it would be a dick move to spoil it for it.
Wow.
Sophie says.
How do you reckon Sophie's figuring it out?
I assume.
A bit of like hardcore interrogation.
Yeah, maybe hacking the mainframes.
Right. I was thinking
maybe the server.
Right. That's good digital. I was thinking like
waterboarding. Yeah, well, she might be doing that too. Because sometimes
you're going for Kevin or Chris.
I think ideally you'd go about it without having to resort to those levels. Yep. But if it comes to it,
that's right. That's 22. Me, you've cracked 19. The last three. It's a combination.
That's right.
You got to work it out.
You got to figure it out.
I don't really do any Secret Santas. I was talking about doing it possibly with my family next year.
I used to do it with my family.
Every year we talk about next year we'll do that because it sort of gets out of hand.
Yes.
With partners and nephews and nieces and stuff like that. Yeah, but
we've gone through. I've gone through that stage. So we went through the hectic, too many presents. The extended family, was on both sides of the family. The smaller side was like 20 odd people, and the bigger side's like 50, 60 people or whatever. And it used to be just everyone bought presents for everyone.
So you used to buy 60 presents?
Oh, my parents would have when I was a kid.
That's so many.
Probably, that can't be right. But they, it was a lot of presents, whatever it was. Maybe by the time we got to 60, they pulled the pin. And then it changed to a Kris Kringle, KK, or Secret Santa, and you had to make them. So it was just for one person in the family, you had to make them, and that ended up being stressful.
Making a gift.
I remember one year I was like 16 or something, and I made a backpack. Like Mum helped quite a bit, but we sewed together a backpack, right? And I got given a $2 shop thing. It was like a nut that opens up and there's like a bug in it.
Not homemade.
Not homemade.
So not homemade and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, if you open it up and it's like, back in the day, a Discman or something, I'll forgive that because I'll use it.
Yeah. It was funny because I was like, I've always sort of loved Christmas, and it didn't worry me at all, but I think maybe other people were like, that's not on to my, like, the auntie or whoever organised it.
Because that is fine until someone so Fulton style points out and says, who did that for you? That was Uncle. Yeah. That was Uncle Andy.
Yeah. Oh, but that's a good point. They were never secret though. So KK said the name was on it. You knew who gave it to you.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
If you got the anonymity, you go, whatever.
But yeah, so I think, I don't think that was the thing that brought it all down. Just
everyone talking. Did you see what Matt got?
In time, eventually they're like, let's just catch up and we don't have to do presents. And then maybe if there were like little grandchildren, people might get the little kids something, but anyone who was, teenagers or older, just didn't really.
You don't need a nut.
Don't need. No one need. No one. Whatever. That's gone the same. Immediate family was the same. We used to buy for it because I've got 3 siblings, so I built 5 presents. Then we did an Irish Kringle, which was everyone would just buy a thing worth whatever the price was, $10, $20, whatever. And then it was sort of like you could unwrap it. If your name gets picked out, you unwrap it, and then you can steal off other people and stuff.
Right.
So everyone has 3 names in a hat. So whoever has their name picked out very last, they get to pick whatever they like.
Right, okay. Have you seen the episode of The Office where they have that? It's very controversial. I think people call it Nasty Christmas.
Oh, right.
Because
I don't know why it's called Irish Christmas.
Michael Steve Carell's character does not stick to the limit. Everyone's put $10 and he buys a $300 iPod. And of course, everyone wants that.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it just ruins it.
But yeah, we ended up just going, let's just catch up.
Yeah. I think also in answer to Soph's other question, I think it's fun to not know the magic, but it's also fun to work it out for you.
Yeah, if you're a Poirot type.
Yeah, that's right.
And you like to get to the bottom of things.
You like to waterboard your colleagues.
Like Poirot.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot what the question was about. I went way off piece.
No, I think there was 2 questions. It was, do you do it, which you no longer do because of the nut incident, and also
it wasn't because of the nut. That was so long ago. But I find it very funny. Like just thinking of it, because I didn't really care. I didn't really even understand how it was like a kind of an unfortunate scenario. I was just having a good day. But it's just funny thinking back to like a kid who's just like tried so hard to make a thing.
He made a backpack. And then you get this little piece.
It's a funny thing to think about.
That's a life lesson for Matt Stewart.
Great question, Soph. But yeah, no, I think it's all fun. I do love Kris Kringle. I think it's a fun thing to do. It's mainly, I think my brother and sisters were like, we don't need to do this anymore. I'm like, yeah, sure. I like buying presents, but if people don't want to do it, I also don't want to. Yeah. Because Christmas can be a weird time where someone might be like, no, this is how we do it. And really sort of stick too hard to a tradition and making everyone else sort of hate that tradition sometimes. Last one comes from Jacob Curry, aka first time listener, long time caller. And Jacob has
first time listening this episode. What are the chances?
Yeah, but this is not their first Fat Quota question.
But they've been calling a lot.
Yeah.
Never heard the show.
Jacob's question reads: you must become any one animal for a month.
Okay.
You fully retain your human intelligence and awareness, but can't communicate beyond the reasonable capabilities of your chosen animal. The moment you regret your choice, you die in a fiery explosion. What? Presumably inflicting massive damage on nearby property and confusing forensic scientists in the process. What animal do you choose?
Wow.
Unfortunately, Jacob, as a first-time listener, he wouldn't know that we normally suggest if you write a question, please give us an answer, because Jacob hasn't done that. But Jacob would know that as he's never listened to the show before.
And he's not probably listening to this right now. Right, the explosion thing really changes your mind.
Yes, because you can't feel regret, right?
Yeah. I was thinking a bird.
Okay. Oh, how good would it be to fly?
You get to fly.
That'd be sick.
I'm a bit of a night owl.
Okay.
Maybe a tawny frog mouth.
Oh,
Turn the neck around. That'd be fun.
A beautiful bird.
Lovely bird.
Because they're stupid, but imagine if you had a Dave Warnocky brain inside one of those heads. They could take over the world. The other thing is you want to double check that they can live for a month.
Yeah, like a dragonfly or something.
You don't want it to have a life expectancy of 3.5 weeks, because you will feel regret as you die. Yeah. So you would both die and explode. I guess either way you're going to die when you explode.
But what's an animal that has a good time?
Yeah, I think a sloth could be fun. Well, that might be a bit frustrating. You probably regret it.
Your mind's moving a mile in a minute, but you can't keep up.
I'd love to be a wombat.
Oh, yes, you do love a wombat. Favourite animal, not just Australian.
That's right. That might be in a future episode.
Wombat, I think wombats have a good time, and not many people... I mean, people mess with them a bit, but with cars and things, but not really... You don't want something that's a predator takes out.
But I think you're right. Yeah, that's right. I think the bird is great, and maybe like a bird of prey, like a big bird.
Yeah. Maybe so you don't have to worry about other birds.
Yeah, an eagle or a hawk
flying like an eagle would be sweet. Or like just also something that's so badass that no one messes with you, like a tiger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wonder if I'd regret it as I had to tear an antelope to shreds as a lion. Probably not a tiger.
Yeah, right. You want something less violent. All right.
But that's the problem with an eagle. I'd probably be regretting it and exploding as soon as I was eating a mouse.
Yeah.
Like, why don't I choose eagle? I don't want to eat a mouse.
Yeah.
Tricky.
My favourite animal is a panda. Oh, they're so dumb, but they have fun. They tumble along.
Yeah.
They're just so helpless.
Yeah. But if you put your brain in
there... that's right, because I don't think they realise how stupid they are, but if you realise... I'm going to go with owl.
Regret. Yeah, I think owl's great. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to go orangutan.
Okay.
Because they're basically vegetarian. I don't have to eat...
nothing gross.
Anything gross. They would just be eating like raw leaves and stuff.
Yeah, but it's better than a raw mouse, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun to chase down and eat an antelope. Or a mouse. Don't know. I don't know if... Jacob needs to let us know if we would also have the taste buds of the animal. Yeah, we got the brain of us. But if we have the taste bud, we enjoy a hearty, mousy meal.
Yeah, great. Then
no regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a bit more information, Jacob, but I love the question. I love that twist mid-question. Yeah. So thank you very much to Jacob, Soph, Jessica and Nick for their facts, quotes and questions. The next thing we like to do is shout out to a few of our other great mates and supporters. Mm-hmm. And Jess normally comes up with a game for this section, Dave. Do you have any thoughts on this? Something based on the show we can give them, so it was a Star Wars thing. Maybe we could give them all a Star Wars name.
Okay, yeah.
Not a real one, though. Like on Who Knew It in this week's episode of Who Knew It, the one question was, what was George Lucas's character's name? And we all had a bit of fun coming up with some names. I don't want to give
away, but that was so funny.
Maybe on a similar...
So we're making up a name.
Yeah, do you think we could do 9 of those? Or we could just do real ones. We could give them all a real person.
Because there'd be thousands in the universe, wouldn't there?
How about you can do it real or not real, and the listeners at home can figure out whether it's real or not. If I could kick us off, I might do the first. Or should we go 1 for 1?
Oh, let's go 1 for 1.
I'll give you a name.
For 1.
I'll go a name. You give us a character. I'm going first up from Marietta in Pennsylvania in the United States. It's QJK.
QJK? Well, why don't I give you the only Q character I can find on this list of Star Wars characters, Quarry.
Quarry. What do you know about Quarry?
Quarry voiced by Corey Burton, is a Mon Calamari engineer living on the planet Shantipole.
Oh, yeah. Say no more.
There you go. He's named after Star Wars concept artist Ralph McQuarrie.
Oh, that's nice. But a nice tribute for Ralph.
So he's one of those amphibian... There
you
go.
Right. Yes. Quarry. You want to go up next there, Dave?
Coming up next, I would like to thank from Teddington in the Greatest of Britons. Big shout out to Mark Sumner.
Okay. Mark Sumner, a.k.a. Ted Gone Forth.
Ted Gone Forth to...
Ted Gone Forth.
Wow.
That one I will admit I did make up.
No.
Yes, I did. What was his name?
Ted Gone Forth.
Ted Gone Forth is one of those fighter pilot guys in the rebellion, and he's got like wings coming out his head.
Wow. So his head can fly.
Yeah, his head can fly, but he's also flying in a plane.
That's good. So
double threat.
So the ejector seat.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, he loves the ejector seat. He can fly in space, so that's pretty good. All right,
back to you.
I'll give you another name. Thank you very much to Mark. I'd love to also thank from address unknown, can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. It's Marlon Kulin.
Oh, that sounds like a Star Wars
character.
Yeah,
Marlon Kulin.
What about Bishop Buzzard?
Bishop Buzzard, and you're reading that off your list again?
Yeah. No, that's me. That's freestyle. Off the dome.
Bishop Buzzard.
Bishop Buzzard.
Bishop Buzzard. Marlon Kulin, Bishop Buzzard.
Marlon Kulin, Bishop Buzzard.
Marlon Kulin, Bishop Buzzard.
Bishop Buzzard is a bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mates with Bobber.
Yeah, but Bishop Buzzard's only weapon is a coin.
Oh.
That he throws really hard.
Wow.
And if it hits you in the head, it'll knock you out.
He's got great coin control.
But if he misses, he's got to run after it. He's only got one.
Bloody hell. That's a fantastic one.
Bishop Buzzard.
Bishop Buzzard. How about you want to thank one now, Dave?
Next up, I would like to thank from location in Griffith, New South Wales. It's known. Sorry. I'm looking at a distance here. Jeremy Gleeson.
Jeremy Gleeson from Griffith. Jeremy Gleeson, of course, is distant relative of Yoda. It's Yabba Dabba Doda.
Yabba Dabba Doda.
Yabba Dabba Doda.
Love it.
He's sort of like a quarry worker.
Oh, like quarry.
Yeah. Similar to quarry, yeah. I don't know how I come up with my ideas. Yeah, but he's a great character. Rock solid sort of, oh God, that's not what I meant, but he's just a solid, he's a nuggety, one of those, he looks like what he does. He looks like a rock. I swear to God, I've seen Star Wars.
Yeah, you sound like you love it.
I'd also love to thank, if I may, from Carlingford in New South Wales, Frank Draper.
Frank Draper, a.k.a. Commander CC2237, a.k.a. Oddball. That's a character.
That's a real one. What's Oddball's story?
Clone commander and pilot, participates in several battles throughout the Clone Wars under the command of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
Oddball.
That's a great one. Oddball. Love it. And he's sort of some sort of a ball man.
Yeah, he rolls around.
I love that.
In his own filth.
Yeah, no kidding. C-3PO style. No, CCBB. You know, the ball one.
BB-8.
BB-8, thank you. I'm the Star Wars fan of the group too.
I've watched them all. I enjoy them all. They're great.
Maybe you outrank me.
I just never go out.
You haven't seen the holiday special.
Yes, and I don't go out on a limb and say I'm a Star Wars fan because I just can't compete with people who love it.
No, that's true.
I just enjoy it.
I enjoy it too. I've watched all the Disney Plus ones too.
Okay, all right.
Even the ones that people have hated, I thought they were fine. And the ones that were really good were great. But yeah, the one that people shat on the most, I'm like...
The movie?
Oh, no, the series about Boba Fett.
Oh, right.
I thought, it was a bit of fun. It was obviously not great, but it was fine. But people hated it. They were offended by its existence.
All right, we're back to the list here. I would like to thank are we up to...
Yeah, I reckon we are.
From Wurundjeri in New Zealand, I would like to thank Richard Peake.
Oh, Richard Peake.
Dickie Peake.
Dickie Peake, whose Star Wars character is, of course, Mount Gongu.
Mount Gongu.
Yeah, who's a mountain man, literally. I don't know if do they have people like this in there?
Yeah.
I mean, they can have anything.
It's like, it's a full galaxy.
Yeah. So it sort of like basically looks like Grug. But instead of being the top of a tree,
it's the
top of a mountain.
I love
King
it.
of the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why his name is the name I said before.
Yeah.
Mount
Gongu.
Yeah.
Mount Gongu.
Gongu definitely sounds like a Star Wars
it does.
name. And I think Richard Peake, I don't know if you saw where I was going there, the peak took me to mountain.
I didn't get that.
Bada bing, bada bang, here we go. All of a sudden, I'm Australia's George Lucas.
I can't keep up with you, Mark, with that small beard.
Yeah. And I'd next like to thank from Richard Mond in Melbourne in Australia. It's Meg.
Meg, aka Professor Pooh. Professor Pooh.
Meg's been patiently waiting for a shout out and you've given her Professor Pooh.
You could see it though, can't you? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Professor Pooh. People go see Professor.
Big goggles.
And people go see Professor like in a junkyard.
Yes.
But he Professor Pooh fixes like weird skin conditions.
Yes.
You know?
Solves problems.
Yeah, but
also very wise.
Yes, but speaks in riddles.
Yes, and has 6 arms.
He has 6 arms, and one of them makes creams.
Yeah.
Really well.
While fixing you.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking like edible creams or balms?
Both actually. There's one arm on each side.
Yeah.
But Professor Pooh, it stands for something.
Right.
But we just can't pronounce it.
Oh,
People speaking English can't pronounce those words.
Gotcha.
So it's shortened to Professor Pooh.
Right, I see. Oh, that makes sense. That's actually quite a nice name for Meg then.
Good on you, Meg.
I think Meg would actually love that.
Yeah, Meg, AA, Professor Pooh.
Now that you've said all that, yeah, sure.
I would like to thank from Hanover in Pennsylvania, it is Shannon Whitesell.
Shannon Whitesell. Shannon Whitesell, obviously in our world, is Shannon Whitesell.
Yeah.
Fantastic person. Up and go, get it, and gotcha sort of person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Up and about. You want a thing done? Get Shannon Whitesell on the job. But in the Star Wars universe, a real no-hoper. A real down and outer.
Yeah.
You know, that junkyard you were talking about, that's where you find Shannon sleeping under corrugated iron. But you know what Shannon does with that corrugated iron?
What?
Saves the galaxy.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And you know the name?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
It is. It is Rain on a Tin Roofer.
Oh, Rain on a Tin Roofer.
Rain on a Tin Roofer.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And it's...
That's good stuff. I'm wondering how thin these hotel walls are. And people could hear Rain on a Tin Roofer. People could hear that we're recording this at midnight in a very cheap hotel.
And they're finding out that Shannon is also the savior of the galaxy. Rain on a Tin Roofer?
That's funny.
Not funny. That's inspiring. Thank you, Shannon. And finally, Dave, you ready to bring this home with another address unknown? Can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. It's Connor Byrne.
Connor Byrne, aka Zuckus.
Zuckus. Now, is this a real... Oh, this would be a fun game. Real or fake?
Real or fake?
I'm saying fake.
Zuckus.
Zuckus can't be real.
Confirmed real.
What?
A Gand bounty hunter among those who answer Darth Vader's call to capture the Millennium Falcon. Zuckus.
Zuckus causing a ruckus. Thank you so much to Connor. That's actually a real badass one to get. As well as Shannon, Meg, Richard, Frank,
Professor
Jeremy,
Pooh, come on.
Marlon, Mark, and QJK. The last thing we need to do is welcome a few people into the Triptych Club. Now, Dave, can you explain this? Because my throat is killing me.
Okay, so whilst you're off there dying, we'll tell you that the Trip Ditch Club, it's a place where we shout out people who've been supporting the show.
Sorry, we what?
We shout out.
Okay. Not shout out.
No. That's no Professor Pooh in this section. These are the people that have been supporting the show for 3 consecutive years on the shout out level. And as a way to thank them again for their ongoing support, we induct them into our Hall of Fame, aka a bar. It's a venue. It's whatever you want it to be. There's music in there. There's cocktails. There's canapes. You get to mingle with all the other guests. It gets bigger and better every single week. So, yeah, these are the people who've been supporting the show for 3 years as of this week. And I think there's a couple on the list this week to welcome in.
Oh, this is going to be fun as well, because this is going to be the first time in a while that Dave hasn't got to see the names before he's worked on his little puns.
I know what. They're all freestyle off the top of my dome.
He's normally got a pen and paper out. He's been researching them, but he doesn't have his computer here, so he's not going to be able to do this.
How many we got?
We've just got the 2.
Okay.
Have you talked about the band you've booked?
No, I haven't talked about the band.
So Jess is normally behind the bar, but I guess you're doing double shift tonight as both the MC and the bartender. What cocktail have you got? What Christmas cocktail have you got?
The Darth Paul.
Okay.
Because the person who's working the bar tonight's name is Paul.
Yes.
And a Darth Paul is cranberry.
Yep.
Vodka.
Uh-huh.
And a different type of cranberry.
Wow, double cranberry.
So it goes cranberry, vodka, cranberry.
Paul loves cranberry.
Yeah, Paul loves it.
Something you got to remember about Paul.
Yeah, we all know Paul.
He
Paul's
loves
a great
cranberry.
guy.
Oh, fantastic.
It's his first night where he's in charge. Because obviously Jess is
He
usually shaking him up.
things.
But he's stepped up. And it's called the Darth Paul.
I love it. And the band you've booked for the after party?
We've booked the Monkeys.
Oh, original lineup?
Original lineup.
Wow. So we've got a few back from the dead?
Yeah, that's right.
That's fantastic.
In this place, we can do that.
Yeah, it's a magical place.
It's beautiful.
And what sort of songs are they playing? A bit of everything?
Yeah, everything.
Daydream Believer?
Yeah, they're doing
Last Train to Knoxville? Or wherever, Clarksville? I don't know if they go to Knoxville.
Yeah, but they will if you want them to.
Yeah, sometimes I like to see the Whigs for you. If that's where that was.
It is Knoxville, Tennessee.
So there's only 2 names coming in tonight, Dave. So you're on the stage. You're ready to hype them up.
That's right. I'm on the mic.
All the other inductees in the club are already standing around chanting the name of these 2 inductees, and Dave's hyping them up. So are you ready?
Absolutely.
Here we go. The 2 inductees this week. Firstly, from Oakland in California in the United States, it's Colony Strombeck.
Oh, this is a strong start tonight.
Because of Strom.
Strong.
Yeah.
Did you say Strongbeck?
Strombeck.
Close enough. Pretty good. Strong and strong. Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly. Strumming my pain with his fingers. Strom.
And that's a positive. That's a real hype up for Connolly.
Yeah, that's right.
And secondly, from Canterbury in England, it's Charlie Cleary.
Oh, I can see Cleary now. Charlie is here.
Welcome into the club, Charlie and Connolly. Please make yourselves at home.
That's a duo, Charlie and Connolly.
Charlie and Connolly, please grab yourself a Darth Paul. Kick back and enjoy. Anything else we need to tell people before we go, Dave?
They can get in contact with us through our website, dogoonpod.com. That's where you can suggest a topic, and then we'll shout out to you when we inevitably get to it. We've committed to doing all 10,000 suggestions that are in there. You can email us, dogoonpod@gmail.com, or contact us via following us on social media at dogoonpod. But I think that's about it.
Yeah, please, Dave, bring this baby home.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another fantastic episode. But until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening, and Merry Christmas and goodbye.
Laters.